Already we had seen the different types of epithelial tissues, that is simple epithelium and compound epithelium. In this slide we are going to see the connective tissues. Next tissue, it is a connective tissue. Connective tissue, the name itself you know, it is a connecting between the two sides, that is called as connective tissue. Mainly this tissue is found to be more abundant and widely distributed tissue. It is that is the body consists of maximum amount of this type of connective tissues. Then what is the function of this tissue means it will give a support to the structure. It will give a stiffness to the structure, a support to the structure for holding the different types of organs. It will protect the organs or prevent the organs by either it will be displaced. It avoid the displacing of the organs. When the organs will displace during the bodily movements, the organ shows any movement. So to avoid the displacement of such movement, these muscles are very important. The connective tissue consists of certain components, that is intercellular substances. Then what are the intercellular substances? That are matrix, connective tissue cells and fibers. These constitute the component of the connective tissues. These three things, what is that? Matrix, connective tissue cells and fibers. These three constitute the component of the connective tissue. Then this connective tissue is classified into four types as follows. First one, connective tissue proper. That is, it consists of areolar and adipose tissues. That is connective tissue proper having areolar and adipose tissues. Then second one, supportive connective tissue. It includes cartilage and bones. Then third one, dense connective tissue. It includes tendons and ligaments. Then fourth connective tissue is the fluid connective tissue. It includes blood and lymph. Now we are going to see all the four types of connective tissues along with the types in detail. First we are going to see the first connective tissue, that is the connective tissue proper. This connective tissue proper consists of collagen fibers, elastin fibers and fibroblast cells. In this connective tissue proper, we are going to see two types of tissues, that is areolar tissues and adipose tissues. Areolar tissues, it is nothing but these cells are loosely arranged. These fibers and cells are loosely arranged in a semi-fluid substance which is called as matrix. That is, the cells and fibers are arranged in a matrix-like structure. So these fine threads will leave a space between them in each directions. This small space is called areolae. This small space is called areolae. This type of areolar tissue is seen in join of skin to the muscle. Our body is covered by skin, no? Then below the skin there will be a muscles. Between the skin and muscle, this areolar tissue is present. Then it also fills space inside organs, internal organs having enough space. So that type of organs, this type of areolar tissue is present. Then next to that, it is found around the muscles. Our body having muscles, no? This areolar tissue is found around the muscles and also blood vessels and nerves. This type of areolar tissue helps in repair of tissue. Suppose the tissues are get injured, this areolar tissue helps in repairing such type of tissues. It fixes the skin to the underlying muscles. Next connective tissue is the next connective tissue proper is adipose tissue. This adipose tissue is the aggregation of fat cells or adipocytes. Fat cells get aggregated to join this adipose tissues. These fat cells are also called as adipocytes. These cells are spherical or oval in shape. It contains a high amount of fat inside the cells. It acts as a fat reservoir. They are found in subcutaneous tissue. That is, it is present between the internal organ around the heart. around the heart this type of tissues are present, and also around the kidney this type of tissues are present. Why these tissues are present around the important organs means it acts as a shock absorber. Particularly in the kidney and eyeball, it acts as a shock absorber. They also regulate the body temperature, which act as a insulator. This insulator is nothing but it will maintain a particular temperature, so it regulates the body temperature. It will maintain the normal body temperature as such. In connective tissue, the second type of connective tissue is a supportive connective tissue. The supportive connective tissue includes cartilage and bones. This supportive connective tissue is also called as skeletal connective tissue, which forms the endoskeleton of the vertebrate body. So it prevents various organs and helps in it protects various organs and helps in locomotion. That is, this structural framework protects all the important vital organs inside the rib bones. So it will protect the various organs, and also it helps in the locomotion of the organism. Because of the presence of joints, the locomotion will takes place. This supportive tissue includes cartilage and bones. Then first one we are going to see what is cartilage. Cartilage are similar to that of bones, but it is a soft bone. It is semi-rigid. Semi-rigid means not so stiff. It is somewhat flexible and less vascular in nature. The matrix composed of large cartilage cells called chondrocytes. Okay, this consists of chondrocyte cells. These cells are present in the fluid filled space known as lacunae. These chondrocytes are placed in the fluids filled space known as lacunae. This cartilaginous bone is seen in tip of the nose, then earlobe, that is the pinnae, then end of the long bones, then also in trachea and larynx, that is the earlobes are flexible, no? So these are flexible bones. It gives support and flexibility to the body parts. Look at this picture. This blue picture shows the cartilaginous bone, small round shaped cells that are called as chondrocytes, which is placed in the lacunae. Then these are the ground substance is called as matrix, that is shown in this picture. Next supportive connective tissue is the bone. Bone is different from cartilage, that is the bone is somewhat hard, rigid, strong and solid. It is a non-flexible skeletal connective tissue. It is not flexible. That is the bone is rich in calcium salt and collagen fibers. That is, bone matrix is formed of calcium salt. Due to high amount of calcium deposition, the strength of the bones will be increased. It will give strength to the bones. Then the matrix of the bone is formed of a concentric rings called lamellae. That is, the bones are in the form of matrix of the bone are in the form of a concentric ring, that is called as lamellae. Then the bone cells are present in the lamellae are called osteocytes. Okay, the bone cells are present in the lacunae, that is called as osteocytes. So bone cells are called as osteocytes. These osteocytes are arranged in the bones. Each osteocytes communicates with each other by a fine network of canal, that is called as canaliculi. Each cells having a contact. This contact is called as canaliculi. Then we see different varieties of bones. Even during eating chicken, we had seen the leg piece of the bone, that is the bone having a central cavity, that is called as marrow. That marrow is filled with some substance that is called as bone marrow. What is the function of this bone? It will protect the internal structures. It gives a specific structure, that is a framework to the body, shape and structure to the body. And also the bone supports and protects soft tissues and organs. The internal organs are protected by a rib cage, I already told you. In addition to that, it gives support to the tissues, for stiffness to the tissues. Okay, well, this is the function of the bone. Below it is a picture shown, that is a TS of bone. This picture shows that the bone having bone cells and also lacunae having a lamellae, then canaliculi, that is the bone cells are connected with this canaliculi. Then center there is a Harvesian canal is also present in the bone. Third type of connective tissue is the dense connective tissue. This dense connective tissue, the name itself, you know, dense. Dense means that is, it is the fibers and fibroblast cells are tightly packed. That is packed very tightly to form densely packed, so it is called as dense connective tissue. That is this that is mainly the tendons and ligaments are the main composition of this dense connective tissues. First we are going to see what is tendon. Tendon is nothing but a cord-like aptina. It is a string-like structure, strong structure which join the skeletal muscle to the bones. Skeletal muscles and bones are joined together. This tendon acts as a glue which joins the skeletal muscle to the bone. These tendons have a greater strength and limiting flexibility. Flexibility means it will stretch extreme. It will having a flexible character. Then they consist of a parallel bundle of collagen fibers. It is having a parallel bundle of collagen fibers, that is which are present rows of fibroblasts. This collagen fibers consist of fibroblasts in the rows. Okay, va? So this tendons helps in moving the bones and muscles. During the movement, it will give flexibility to the bones and flexibility to the muscles which are joined to the bones. This is the picture of the tendon. That is a brown color structure. It consists of collagen fibers. These collagen fibers are parallel bundles. In the collagen fibers, these fibroblasts are present in between these collagen fibers. They are present in rows in the collagen fibers. Then next one, coming to the ligaments. Below the tendons there will be the ligaments, which is also a dense connective tissue. These ligaments are highly elastic. Elastic means this is also somewhat flexible structure and have a great strength, which is also connect the bone to the bone. That is now clearly noted. That is, tendons are connecting the muscle to the bone. Here ligaments are bone to bone connections. That is, ligaments are nothing but a bone to bone connection. They contain very little matrix substances. This gives strength to the joint and allow normal movement. That is, in the joints this type of ligaments is present, which will gives normal movement for the bones, and it also strengthen the joint. All the joint contains this ligaments. Look at this picture. This is the structure of the bone. That is, the bones are shown in between a whitish structure or bluish structure that is called as ligament. Ligament is nothing but a bundle of connective tissue that connects one bone to the adjacent bone. Look at this picture. This arrow shows that that is upper as a one bone, then lower there is another bone. In between these two bones there will be a connective tissue, that is a ligament. The last connective tissue is the fluid connective tissue. That is, blood and lymph are the fluid connective tissues which link the different parts of the body. That is, these cells of this connective tissues are loosely spaced. There are many spaces in between these cells, and they are embedded in an intracellular matrix. Then coming to blood, blood contains blood cells. That is, blood cell or corpuscles, that is RBC, that is erythrocyte, WBC, leukocyte and platelets. These are the three types of cells or corpuscles present in the blood. These blood cells are, this is a fluid connective tissue. These blood cells are moved in the fluid matrix that is called plasma. Plasma is the liquid portion in which this RBC, WBC and platelets are moving in this plasma only. This plasma liquid portion contains inorganic salts and organic substances. It mainly circulating fluid. It helps in transporting the nutrition, collecting the nutrition from different parts of the body. Then coming to RBC, that is a red blood corpuscle. It is one of the cell in the plasma. It is also called as erythrocytes. This red blood corpuscles are oval in shape, circular, biconvex, disc-shaped cell. This RBC, an important characteristic feature of this RBC is it is not having a nucleus. You all know that every cell having the nucleus in the center, but this RBC does not having the nucleus when it gets matured. That is, mammalian RBC alone does not contains any nucleus. They contains a respiratory pigment. Instead, they contains a respiratory pigment that is called as hemoglobin. This hemoglobin gives red color to the blood. Because of the presence of a red pigment, the blood is red in color, and also this hemoglobin involves in transport of oxygen to the tissues. It carries the oxygen to the tissues through circulation. The next one, WBC, it is called as leukocytes. These are larger in size and contains a distinct nucleus and colorless. White blood corpuscles are colorless, red blood corpuscles are red colored. This white blood corpuscles are capable of amoeboid movement. It moves like an amoeba animal and plays an important role in that is protecting the body from enemies, that is pathogens. Mainly this WBC engulf the pathogens or parasites which enters the body. This WBC, it is of two types, that is granulocytes and agranulocytes. Granulocytes are irregular shape with nucleus, and cytoplasm it contains granules, so it is called as granulocytes. And agranulocytes, that is, it is not having this cytoplasmic granule, so it is called as agranulocytes. This granulocytes is further divided into three types of cells: neutrophil, basophil and eosinophil. Then this agranulocytes is again divided into two types, that is lymphocytes and monocytes. Then last one, it is a blood platelets. It's very important. They are minute, anucleated. Even this platelets also having is not having any nucleus, so it is anucleated. Then fragile fragment of giant bone marrow called megakaryocytes. That is bone marrow is the main site for the production of all the blood cells. Here also this blood platelets is also a piece of that megakaryocyte, that is the cell which will give rise to many blood cells. Then this play an important role in blood clotting mechanism. Blood clotting means, suppose if we get wound, means it will come in contact with the air, the blood clot and the ooze out will stop. That is called as blood clotting. This blood clotting is mainly responsible for this blood clotting is due to the presence of platelets in the blood. Then next, connective fluid, connective tissue is the lymph. Lymph is entirely different from the blood. The blood is red in color, but the lymph is a colorless fluid which is filtered out from the blood capillaries. Okay, wow. It contains also plasma and white blood cells. Similar to that of the blood, this lymph also contains a plasma and white blood cells, but no red blood cells. It mainly helps in exchange of material between the blood and the tissue fluids. That is, blood contains some of the nutrients which will be transported to the tissue fluids through this lymph only. The third tissue is the muscular tissue. This muscular tissue is made up of muscle cells which forms a major part of the contractile tissue. This muscular tissues is a longitudinal cylinder shaped tissues. Mainly the muscle tissues are divided into three types. They are skeletal muscles, then smooth muscles, then cardiac muscles. And the first one, smooth muscles, is that the smooth muscles is also called as non-striated muscles or involuntary muscles. Mainly these muscles are present in the walls of the internal organs. Let us look at this picture. It is the digestive, that is the intestine of this system is made up of such type of smooth muscles, that is internal organs, that is blood vessels, gastric glands, then intestinal villi, urinary bladder. Like these are some of the examples in which the smooth muscles are present. Then coming to the next one is the cardiac muscle. It is a special type of tissue present only in the heart. This muscle is a cylindrical, branched and uninucleated cell tissue, that is the cardiac tissue. This cardiac tissue helps in contraction of cardiac muscle. It is involuntary and rhythmic movement, that is heart muscle is the cardiac muscle. Look at this picture. The muscles are rod shaped and it is having a uninucleated branched cylindrical structure. Then next one, it is the skeletal muscle, that is skeletal muscles are attached to the bone and are responsible for bodily movements, are called skeletal muscles. These muscles are also called as voluntary muscles or striped or striated muscles, because they looks band like appearance. Look at this picture, it shows some of the cross sections, no, they are looking ladder like appearance. These are called striations. These muscles are mainly present in biceps and triceps of arms and undergoes rapid contraction because of the movement of both leg and the hand. That is next one, that is a nervous tissue. This nervous tissue comprises of a nerve cell. Look at this picture. This is a typical picture of a nerve cell. The nerve cell consists of a cell body that is called cyton, then elongated structure which having a prominent nucleus and a cytoplasm. This cell body, on the sides it will be elongated, that is a protoplasmic content. It will be highly branched to form dendrites or dendron. Then a single process which will elongate from the cell body, that is called as axon. This axon is a single long fiber-like process which develops from the cell body. I hope you look at this picture, it will be clear. That is axon, some yellow dot like structures will be present. No, that is the axon. It ends in the terminal branches. This is a typical nerve cell. All the nerve tissues are made up of such type of cells. Okay students, I will summarize today's class. That is today's session. We had seen the classification of the animal tissues, isn't it? That is the classification of animal tissue consists of, first one, epithelial tissue. This epithelial tissue is classified into squamous epithelium, then columnar epithelium, cuboid epithelium, ciliated and glandular epithelium. All these types of epithelium we had seen with the picture, isn't it? Okay, you understood that what is the different types of epithelium. Then the next tissue is a connective tissue. In that connective tissue we had seen the connective tissue proper. In that we had seen areolar and adipose. No. Then second one, supportive connective tissue, that is cartilage and bones we had seen, isn't it? Then third one, the dense connective tissue. In that we had seen tendons and ligaments. Then fourth connective tissue, that is a fluid connective tissue. In that particular tissue we had seen the blood and the lymph. Is it not? Yes. Then in the blood we had seen plasma, RBC, WBC and platelets. Then in the lymph we had seen plasma and WBC. Then third tissue, that is a muscular tissue. In that muscular tissue we had seen striated, non-striated and cardiac muscles. Then at last we had seen the nervous tissue. Just now we had seen the picture of this nervous tissue, that is cyton, axon and dendrons. I hope students you all clear about this classification of animal tissue topic. Okay, thank you students. Thanks for watching this video.